Hey everybody, and we are back with more Hardcore Heroes Arcadia. Whew,
All
it
right.
has been an eventful episode. A lot of shit's been going down.
So I bid Rohanna good night and tell her that I'll see her the day after tomorrow when she's
hmm
recovered from casting the identify spell.
Okay.
And I head back that evening to the keep, and
All right.
I'll find the guard in charge of the keep. I don't know if that's the gatekeeper or if there's like a
There
head
is
guard.
no gatekeeper right now. Everything is in disarray. All the standard positions are all messed up. There's just a guard on the door.
Okay. Hail. May
Guard
I
gives
speak?
you.
May I
Of
speak with you for a moment?
course.
Um, I don't know whether this is you or somebody else that works in the keep, but is there anyone that you would trust to handle a sensitive matter, a trip on the road for me a few days?
Certainly. Just a something more sensitive than a courier could handle.
Yes, slightly.
There
Only
are
slightly.
good folks in town. Good.
I'd like it to be one of you, a god, a
Of
fighter.
course.
Very well.
I can recommend Jonah.
Okay. Would you bring me to him? I'd like to speak with him now.
Her, yes, of course.
Her.
The guard heads off. It takes you guys a little while to track her down. She's already gone home for the night because it's middle of the night and you got to
Okay.
figure out where she lives. But eventually you come to her house. The other guard knocks, wakes her up in the middle of the night. She comes out with a bit of a yawn and looks at the two of you and goes, God knows what time of night.
I apologize, Jonah. I have a sensitive matter, and you've come highly recommended. Could we speak in private?
She waves you guys on in.
I turn and shake the hand of the guard who brought me here. Thank you. And,
hmm
sort of encourage him to leave.
He fucks off.
Jonah, sit down. I have a small trip that I would like you to go on. Someone I'd like you to meet for me. Extend a hand of friendship and an invite to Shirebrook.
Me?
Yes.
What did he need me for? Who am I talking to?
Look, I don't want you to. You shouldn't believe everything you hear, but the wizard in Misty Rapids, or Carl, he's an expert in things of dimensional shifting, knowledge that may prove invaluable in our endeavor here to work out where our friends have gone. Now,
Isn't this the same Art Carl? The Art Georg? The Wraith of the Tether Wilds? The man who.
yes, this is him. But look, us wizards, we get a bad rep. You wouldn't believe what they say about me up in Redport.
What do they say about you in Redport?
Well, I can assure you, whatever it is, it's all lies. That being said, I need to speak with this Georg, and I feel like if I rock up into his house on my own, the tensions will be flared and things could go out of hand quicker than either of us would like. So, what I propose is that someone trusted from Shirebrook, yourself, goes there, extends a small token of my friendship, and it invites him to accompany you, or later at his leisure, to return to Shirebrook and meet with me.
Hey, aren't you a little worried that he might, you know, kill me? Because I'm worried about that.
Do you have family, Jonah?
I have siblings and parents, but no spouse or children.
Well, I'm sure that you'll be perfectly safe. However, if things do go awry, I can guarantee that your family will never want again.
um,
Look, I have nothing else to. I'm not going to force you to go if you don't want to. But this act could be the most important act that we can take to get our people back, to secure the town for its future.
I suppose since you're asking me to do this, it's proper. It's okay for me to ask this, but do you really think he can be trusted?
Well, there's things that I wouldn't trust him with, and there's things that I would trust him with. Usually, I wouldn't take the risk, but I don't know if you've noticed, our backs are kind of against the wall here, and everyone's looking to me for answers that I don't got. So, this is my way of getting the answers that I need, and this is your part to play in that.
Okay, and so what do I just walk up and say, come to Shirebrook and talk to Malachi?
Well, yes, but there'd be a little bit more subtlety to it than that. First of all, you must go to Misty Rapids, approach the keep, speak to the gatekeeper there, ask to speak to Lord Song, and request a meeting with Georg, or Carl, whatever. Here is some gold to pay for the journey and to grease any palms. I'm not sure what kind of culture they have over there, but this should do you. So I hand her 40 gold coins. That's enough, right?
Yeah. Okay. So
This gets you to meet Georg, right? And then you give him this, and I reach into my bag and take out the magic candle that I acquired so long ago in Redport, and I click my fingers and it lights up. It's merely a magical trinket, but a show of good faith, I think. Oh no, I've got to blow it out. Blow it out. Here, try it. Hand it to her.
She snaps her fingers and it lights up, and she wets them and puts out the wick and snaps it again. Goes, huh, that's neat.
You can give this to Georg. Show of good faith. You can tell him that Aldrich's left, that Tyrus is left, and the town welcomes his advice, and I personally welcome his counsel.
And what if he should say that you need to come to him?
Well, then deliver the message and I'll consider my options, but let's try it this way first.
And if he wants to come back with me immediately?
Then, well, if you feel comfortable, then bring him.
Okay. I guess it's as simple as that, huh?
Let's hope so, Jonah.
Okay.
You can leave tomorrow. Have 2 weeks off when you return for the stress.
Sure. If I return.
If you return. Well, stay positive. Those roads can be dangerous, so
Sure.
be careful.
Take me a couple days to get to Thornwood, a couple days to get to Misty Rapids.
Perhaps
equal time to get back.
Perhaps you should consider hiring a carriage. I found that discourages the most base monsters on the road, at least.
Not a lot of carriage drivers left in this part of the world. If you haven't noticed, everyone's been leaving this town.
Well, maybe you can pick one up at Thornwood.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right. Godspeed, Jonah. May Martha watch over you.
May the Great Father bless your path.
Yes. All right. I leave. So
Okay, I
we've
just had
got
to write notes down on things. It is done. You leave. The rest of the night passes uneventfully, and it
yes.
becomes Tuesday the 6th.
Okay, so let's see. What have we got going here? We've got Gary trying to find all the money that's been stolen. We've got Landslide selling the spare houses. We've
Mm-hmm.
got one guard going to get Tyrus. We've
Mm-hmm.
got one guard going to get Georg.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a couple of guards slash people trying to track down Sturge.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Malchus cleric in his room. Oh, we've got Rohanna doing the identify. And yeah, all right. So maybe I'll do a little bit of reading on. I think I've put in motion enough moving pieces right now. I think I can burn a day in the library.
Sure.
So I'm going to follow the line of thinking about smoke methods, see where they come from. Who would summon a smoke method, or how do they find their way into this plane?
What books do you have? Do you have the names of any books you've been given?
Well, I do have a book of all the fauna. What was it called? I had it on my old character sheet. It was like all the monsters and stuff in Eridon. But that might be
Flora
only
and fauna of Eridon?
yeah, that might only be naturally occurring flora and fauna.
Yeah. You look through there, there's no mention of mephits or
Or
imps at all.
Yeah, so I don't think I've got a named book
Mm-hmm.
that would lead me to find this information easily.
Let's see, your library. I'm gonna base this check off of the size of your library. The larger the library size, the better the check. You currently have a library that's worth roughly 4,000 gold. Fairly specific question. There is nothing in any of these books that has to do with methods or smoke methods in particular.
Where we've put the skull on the mountain range.
Yeah.
I want to try and work out if I could get there and back with polymorph self spell. So it's almost exactly 20 miles away.
Yeah, let's call it 20 miles.
So how far can I fly as a Pegasus in just under 3 hours?
Let's take a look at the Pegasus movement rate.
Yeah. Right. Hippogriff, I think, is. Or an eagle. I think there's an eagle that's the same movement speed as a Pegasus, which is more inconspicuous than a Pegasus.
Yes. Bird. Eagle. Movement rate. Wild eagle has a movement rate of 30.
I'm sure
Same
there's
as the
one.
Pegasus. Giant eagles have a faster movement rate, but
Yeah, how big's a giant? How big's a giant eagle? 10 feet tall. Oh, 20-foot wingspan. Is that bigger than a rhino?
no. I think there are. I think what's the largest birds in the world currently have wingspans? 3.5 meters. Okay.
So it's twice as big as the largest bird in the world.
Yeah, that's an albatross.
Pretty fucking big.
So a giant eagle's pretty freaking big. We're looking at like Gandalf's size eagle.
Okay,
Almost.
is that? I mean, is it like height or is it weight? It probably weighs less than a rhino, but it's also probably bigger than a rhino. So it's your call.
Sure. Let's take a look here. Pegasus has a movement rate of 48. Dear God.
Yeah. Pegasi quick.
Yes, the giant eagle is the only thing with that same movement rate. And the spell says it can be up to the size of a rhino.
Yeah.
because it definitely weighs a lot less than a rhino.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe we want to read the exact wording in the spell.
As small as a wren to as large as a hippopotamus. Furthermore, the wizard gains the polymorph locomotion. Any creature, save those that are non-corporeal. And it can be fantastical creatures too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sure, you can do a giant eagle. That's fine.
cool. All right, I like that more. So movement speed 48 then.
hmm
How far will that get me in?
Let's see.
160
Movement
minutes?
rate 48 is 16 miles an hour.
Oh, cool. So that will get me there then.
Yep, you can easily get there and back.
With one spell, never mind two.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That means you can go there right now, Malachi. Do you want to go there right now?
I don't know. Do you know what though? I think I will do. I think I will do a little flyby. All right, maybe that's what we do today then. Let's get a little bit of danger. I'm not going to go in, but I'm just going to go and see what's going on around it, see if I can find the entrance. So let me choose some spells for the day because I'm going to need something just in case shit hits the fan.
Just in case.
Yeah. I mean, oh wow, I didn't realize you could make the box bigger that you type in. Oh, no, that makes it so much easier.
Which box?
Like the box you type in and roll 20, you can
Oh,
change
yeah.
the size of it. In a very weird way though. So we've got Invis, ESP, and Mirror Image. Let's drop Forget and get. What kind of shit could I run into in the sky? What are these noises? What's going on?
Nothing?
I feel like it should be something is that actually happening?
No, I'm just preparing for when you're flying.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, this is
I mean,
getting ready for when you're flying through the air and you're fighting dragons.
well, I mean, I'm going to cast Invis first, so there's always that. Let's go with Scare. That's my second. That's my level 2 spell, and then Fireball, Slow, and Monster Summoning. Yeah, why not? Slow it down if I have to. I don't think I'll just take Polymorph Self twice in case I need to. Alright. Alright, so I'll go and check on Jonah in the morning, make sure she gets off alright. And once I've sort of tidied up my loose ends, like I go and check for the ship that the guy left on to go and get Tyrus, make sure he hasn't returned. I'll cast Polymorph Self into a giant eagle, and I'll bring my map with me, but I'm going to try and locate the entrance to this thing.
Okay. So you polymorph, then turn invisible.
Either way.
Yeah, whatever.
Polymorph, yeah.
The ship has not, or the guard that went off to find Tyrus has not returned yet.
Yeah.
And you are now an invisible giant eagle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You've got a smirk on your face, and I don't like it.
Hey.
Not you. Gonna have to fight a third chimera, am I?
So, let's take a look at the map here. Invisible flying giant eagle Malachi takes off from Shirebrook and heads in the direction of the Shadow Mountains in the morning. Right?
Yeah. Staying high in the air. You know, higher than most things would bother to be. and
Sure.
I'm not gonna like land right down in front of it. I'm gonna sort of circle around and try and get the lay of the land over there. Is there a clearing? Like, is there a bit where all the trees have been smashed down, or
There is not.
is there anything to indicate that there might be an entrance?
Why don't you... What's your perception score?
13.
13. All right, I'm going to roll this in secret. Okay. You see nothing of note.
Okay.
Maybe you passed your perception check and there is nothing to note, or maybe you failed your perception check. But either way, it's just mountainsides.
So, I guess there could be, like, the entrance could be nowhere near where that room is. You know, it could be an underground cave network. So I've got time because I've got another spell. So I'm going to do some, around this whole general area.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come in down lower and see if I can't find, like, a big cave entrance. Something big.
Okay. You start descending and circling around looking for something big. You don't see any large caves anywhere. You don't see any clearings, anything out of the ordinary other than an area that looks like maybe had a landslide fairly recently.
Okay. So, there doesn't seem to be an obvious entrance, but I've probably scoured the area that it could be. So my next thought is thinking that maybe it's some sort of hidden entrance, like an illusion maybe. Now my gem of seeing is currently disappeared, right? Because it's
Melded with your
polymorphed.
feathers.
So I'd have to land to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So can I go back to where my initial guess was?
Yeah, I mean, your initial guess was from pretty high up. I mean,
Yeah.
you're still, like, looking down, so it's hard to get an exact location. But it's roughly near this, what do you call it, canyon in the mountains?
Yeah. So I mean, my plan is to turn into a human, take the gem out, put it on the floor, turn back into an imp, pick it up, and then start trying to fly around as an imp to try and see if there's any hidden, cave entrances. I'll stay away from any groups of creatures, though. Bear in mind, in a round's notice, we can turn back into an eagle and fly away. And are invisible. But I'm well aware that dragons can see invisible creatures, so I'm just bearing that in mind.
I'm going to need a minute or two to think about this, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what? We're actually pretty much at a breaking point. We took a late break last time. Why don't we take a break right now, and I'll consider this stuff on the break, and we'll come back on the other side. See you guys in a few minutes. Bye-bye.
Okay.